Hello everybody, so before we start Let's Review Chapter 1, I'd like to remind you that in this video, as well as for upcoming videos, we will mostly be focusing on everything related to the human environment. This is different from what we learned last year, as the focus then was about the physical environment. Also for all videos, please make sure to have your textbook, notebook and stationery with you, as there may be stuff you'd like to highlight or note down. This is not a full lesson, but a summary, so please do your own readings to supplement this. Having said that, let's return to Let's Review Chapter 1, Introduction to the Human Environment. So in Chapter 1, there are basically only two main ideas that you have to understand. Firstly, that the human environment is the result of the interaction between people and the physical environment. Secondly, that this interaction between people and the physical environment can be further categorized into what we call components of the human environment, of which there are four. Now, if you recall Sec 1 Geography, we also learned about the components of the physical environment, but let's not be confused with that. So coming back to the first idea, we say that the human environment is the result of people interacting with the physical environment. But what exactly does this interaction mean? Now, interaction here is defined as the process whereby two things affect each other. For example, if you were interacting with your friend, it wouldn't be a one-way process now, would it? It would be the two of you sharing your thoughts and opinions, which could well influence, change, and affect each other. Similarly, when we look at the human environment, it is definitely a result of a two-way interaction between humans and the physical environment that results in something or some changes. So let's take a look at Marina Bay Sands as an example. This picture definitely shows us a human environment, right? Well, yes, but it only became a human environment as a result of people making changes to the original physical landscape of Singapore. Here we see Singapore slowly developing its Marina Bay area to eventually get what we saw in the previous slide. Now let's think. What sort of interactions do you think were taking place? How is the physical environment affecting us Singaporeans? And what did we do in turn to change the physical environment? So let's pause the video here to think about that question. Got your answer? Yes, the physical environment affects us, as it limits the amount of land we have for buildings. Well, in the case of Singapore, of course. In turn, we continued to change our physical landscape by reclaiming land. For the Marina Bay area, 360 hectares of it was reclaimed land. And so with these changes, with the humans interacting with the physical environment, this has resulted in the human environment that we have now. So now we come to the second important idea in Chapter 1, the four components of the human environment. Transport and communications is known as one component. But take note that, even though it is one component, there are two different definitions that are placed together. Now you should already know all these four components from our lessons. So please pause the video now to fill out the definitions or meanings of these four components. And there we have our definitions of our four components of the human environment. But now, let's think of some examples of the four components. Remember, definitions are different from examples. Like, if I wanted the definition of a girl, it's a female child. But if I wanted examples of girls, it could be things like Selena Gomez, Demi Lovato, etc., etc. So let's pause the video again and try to come up with some examples, or what we sometimes call features of the human environment. So with this, we've come to the end of Let's Review Chapter 1. Let's study hard and do well. Bye!